Oh no, we are gonna have to use your thing. My audio has been fucked. This is always fun.
My mic or my laptop?
Oh no.
That's not good.
Is it not gonna work?
That's not good.
What's up, guys?
Oh hell yeah! Thank God. What's up, Patrick? I thought my laptop wasn't gonna play the audio.
No. What happens is this doesn't happen to anybody else. For some reason, I don't understand. My computer always starts Zoom muted and with the video off. It always takes me a minute to take them off.
I think that might be how we have it set, honestly.
Nah, who knows? But yeah, no, you're good. You're good. It's working.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What's going on, dude?
Yeah, not much. Just plowing away every day. Like, it's funny. The last couple of weeks, I've spent more time on this stuff than on my actual job. I mean, I'm lucky that I can sort of like step back and be able to do that, but it's been like really fun. But I know how I learn. I have to dive in and just wash myself in the subjects, and I'll just absorb it. And eventually something will click, and I'll be like, yeah, this is easy.
I think that's the best way to do it. Scotty's a little has a little different opinion, I think, but
yeah, but that's how I do it, and so it works for me.
Sweet, dope.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more people. We got Brent, Glenn. I don't know whose number that is.
You got a message in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh. What are you doing? Hey, Steve? Thanks, yeah. There he is.
Get to know Geico and see how much you can save on homeowners and renters insurance.
That's you. And the honest drink you might have.
Glenn, can you turn off? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
So how's the penthouse, dudes?
Dude, it's pretty dope.
Cool.
Definitely can't complain. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this crazy like bachelor penthouse. It's like 6 rooms that are all king rooms with king size beds.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
You can get lost in this place.
yeah, it's pretty dope, man. And I guess like I don't know. One of the things I like about like I guess Latin America and really I mean just a lot of the rural countries is like we're just getting waited on like all hours of the day for like basically nothing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like, people ask me why I live down here, and I'm like, if you only knew, like, it just doesn't cost that much. You know, if you have a great income, you can do really well for yourself down here, to be blunt.
Dude, even if you don't have a great income, like
Yeah,
it's
true.
still pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Especially Mexico too.
Yeah.
I think I don't know about the rest of Colombia. Medellin's not nearly as cheap as I thought it was going to be. Like, I mean, we went out for dinner last night.
Probably this neighborhood.
Yeah, I guess I think that's part of it too, definitely. The neighborhood we're in is like definitely upscale.
Yeah. No, they know there's lots of foreigners there, so they push up the prices. I mean, that happens in areas in Mexico too. But yeah, still generally speaking, it's still going to be cheaper than the equivalent in the US or Europe.
Damn, we're the only ones, us and Patrick, only ones brave enough to show our beautiful faces.
Come on, man. I mean, I'm like terribly ugly, and here I am, just
Oh, there we go. Andy's got the camera on.
Hey, I forgot I had fucking electrical tape over that bitch.
I just had to move mine.
Hi guys.
Me.
What's up?
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Hi,
How you?
Scott. Hi.
All right, so I think I'll go ahead and get started. I'm sure we'll probably have some stragglers, but I say let's go ahead and do this. All right, so I guess we'll just start with questions. Is audio okay to you guys? Like I hear a little bit of echo. I'm not sure if it's us or someone else.
No, I'm getting your echo. Oof.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess Patrick, let's start with you. You're in the top right corner of my screen.
Sure, why not? I don't know that I have a lot of questions.
Oh shit! How does this thing work?
At the moment, I'm just trying to. Well, I went through the rest of the B.O.S.S modules, so I'm just trying to apply what I've learned and the advice that you guys are giving us.
Okay, 1 second. I think I'm gonna mute the mic. I think we're getting some. I think it's echoing. Here, give me 1 second.
That's why it's hard to talk.
Let's see. How's that? Is that better now?
There we go. Yes, it's gone much better.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we can just unmute Maggie when when we get to her.
Yeah. So for my part, like I'm basically where you saw last week. The numbers are going up, but my ROAS is basically staying about the same. I've made a little over $1,000 now, but spent a little bit more than that in ads. So I'm trying to find like the place where I can make that jump so that I'm earning a lot more than I'm spending. So
Right.
I'm working on some new creatives, and actually the thing that you sent me will be amazingly helpful.
Yeah, I saw that on my Instagram today, and it made me think of you. So I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna send this over.
Actually, that's really great because that's exactly the new kind of ad that I'm creating. Exactly that. Like no more like the nice show ads. Like I actually want to show it off like in the real world. So
Yeah, man.
I'm actually getting a photographer here to take some of our own lifestyle photos and videos. So
Yeah, and I'd say just like as a general tip, that's like a really, really good way to get solid content for your ads. Even it seems like at first it's like not going to work because it's just so basic. But especially if you have a product that is like an accessory or something that's just like kind of for show and not so much as like a utilitarian use. If you just order it and then get your iPhone out and go to like a setting that's congruent with the product, and just take a short video, just like showing it off, whatever. Like those can kill. Like one of my best ads right now is a video just like that. It's like a testimonial, like a video that one of my customers shot, and it's performing like really well. So
yeah, and that's exactly the style that I'm going to go for now. So I'm working on those. I'll be able to get those up this week, and so we'll see how that goes. But that's about where I am. Yeah.
What are your sales doing in terms of like being spread out across different audiences, different copy, different ads? Do you have like a trend where like one audience is working, three aren't, one's kind of working, or what's it like?
As a matter of fact, it's exactly that. I have 5 audiences, 5 interests that consistently get sales. One of them is way ahead of the rest. So one of them has like 10 sales and the other 12 sales are split between the other 4 interests. And one of them, I think, only got like 1 sale. So it's kind of like exactly that situation. So the one interest that performs really well is consistently performing really well, no matter what ad I throw at it, which is really cool. So like that tells me that if I have the right ad and the right copy for that interest or pair of interests, like it'll give just a whole lot more engagement than it's currently getting. I also noticed that a lot of the purchases, slightly over half, are actually coming from Instagram. So I've been paying a lot more attention to Instagram the last couple of days to figure out like how to maximize the engagement and the kind of ads that I'm putting up there.
Gotcha. What's your like average unique CTR?
Yeah, they're hovering right now. Actually, I can tell you. I should have it open. Let me see here. Average CTR. Yeah, it's about 1%, and that needs to come up.
Yeah. So I think the ads. It sounds like if you spend like the next couple of days making better ads, and just obviously you won't know if they're better until you test them. But it sounds like you have something that's like kind of working. And I think if you were able to get that CTR up to 3%, I think that you'd be making a lot more sales, and I think you'd be a lot more profitable.
Yeah, I completely agree. So that's what I'm trying to get to.
Dope, man, dope. Well, it sounds like you're on the right track. You got any other questions?
Not at the moment. I think the one question I did have was, and we kind of already answered this, but when ads aren't performing, so I turned off a bunch of the interests that were performing. But for the ones that remain, they're sort of split between the ad itself that performs and the ad it doesn't, right? Like, so I duplicated the ad sets, I added the new ads, and almost none of the ads, actually, the new ads performed, but the old ones did. The old ones continue to perform. So I have the old ad sets that had just the original ad, and the new ad sets that has the 2 ads, but only the original ad in both cases actually performs. So should I leave the new ad set in place, the one that had 2 with the unperforming ad, or what should I do with the duplicate?
I mean, from the sounds of that, it sounds like your original ad was better than the second ad you made.
Yes, exactly right.
That basically like a split test. You figured out which ad works better. So basically, like repeat. Take the same original ad and then you put it in a new ad set with another new ad. Test that, and just if you do that, like that's basically the process of testing ad creatives.
Okay. Don't the ad sets compete with each other for audience?
Put them in the same ad set. You would have 2 ads in the same ad set.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So when I duplicate the ad set, kill the old one, and stay with the new one with the original ad.
Is it like performing really well?
Yeah, the performance is the same between the two. So I just
But you're not profitable. So it's not like you're trying to scale. You're trying to test. So I would probably kill the old one.
Would you kill it for that?
How much? Like, you've been running it for like a couple days, couple of weeks.
Yeah, a little over a week now, about a week and a half.
So spend $100.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I probably would kill that.
Yeah.
You think? I think I'd probably leave it running and see what happens because, I guess most of the time it usually will one of the other ad sets will kind of like outperform the other one, and then one of them it'll just like cannibalize the other one, I guess. I guess
especially because you've got one ad set that's working, like that's really working.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't spend too much on the ad sets that aren't really working yet.
Okay, cool. All right, that helps. Yeah, actually, the irony is if I hadn't done the other testing ad sets, I would be profitable because that ad set has made more than it spent.
But that's always the case.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't do the losers, you'd always be profitable.
Yeah, but that's how you find potentially even better winners. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be profitable at making 2 sales a day.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I want to make 100 sales a day, 1,000 sales a day. We'll get there.
There you go.
Yeah, man. All right, that actually answers the major question that I had. So yeah, I don't want to monopolize the meeting. So go on, guys.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Absolutely. All right, let's go to Andy.
Andy,
What up?
there you go.
Talk to us, brother. What's going on?
Jizzmopper Goldstein here, man. You know what up?
No. Jizzmopper Gold. Oh my God. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Writes my emails for like over a year with like the funniest, weirdest shit. I just like don't even know how to reply half the time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, had some dude quit at work, so I haven't made too much progress in the last since the last one. But like, I know I dropped that one link in the Slack group for competitor research, so that did help me out good for like writing product descriptions and shit like that, and my markets lingo and everything. So got a few days off here in a row, and that should allow me to get these fucking ads going and see what happens.
So you got your build and you're kind of like building your store out right now.
Yeah. So, and then I just got the stuff in mail from AliExpress this week as well, so can probably make some custom content on that. So see what I can do this week. Yep.
That's dope. So that didn't take more than what? How long did it take for that to come in from AliExpress?
I'm not exactly sure, but man, they didn't have me targeted till like next month or so. So obviously, and even one of them was like not EPAC, whatever the hell that China Direct or whatever that shit is. It actually came through pretty quick too.
That's dope, man. That's dope. It's funny because that like the long shipping times and shit, like that scares a lot of people away, thinking that like it'll never work because of that. And most of the time, I mean, the shipping times are way overestimated on AliExpress. I mean, sometimes it will take that long to come in, but I would say most of the time, in my experience, it's definitely at least a little bit faster than what they quote.
Right. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have too much questions. I'm just seeing what everyone else got going on, and maybe I'll run into that here and this week.
Dope, man. Dope. Well, yeah. Let us know if you have any other questions. Cool. I guess we'll keep it moving then.
Sweet.
All right, we got Thomas.
What's up, guys? Want to introduce myself real quick? I'm Thomas, 19, currently a college student studying marketing, and I just got the course, not the course, the program this month. So yeah, I'm been setting this all up. Today I actually don't have too many questions. I actually set up the pixel today. Gonna get to running ads later today and all of tomorrow. And I want to thank the other two guys, Patrick and Andy. You guys gave me the idea of ordering the product so I can get some of my own custom content and kind of mess with the ad creatives a little bit. So I want to thank you for that. I hadn't thought of that, or at least doing that yet. But it's never too early.
Yeah, man. And I would say I didn't used to say that that's something that people should do right off the bat. Because obviously it takes time when you order a product, it takes time for it to come in, and that can, if you're waiting for that, then that's just going to delay you, in my opinion, unnecessarily. But the more experience I get and just everything, the more things progress. Content is so fucking important. That is the thing that can, you could sell basically anything with the right content, the right angle, the right audience. It's so huge. And it's crazy because it doesn't take a whole lot of work. You don't have to pay a videographer or get anything super professional. If you just have something that people haven't seen before that shows the product in a different light, in a unique way, that can just be so big. So I think that's a really great idea. Just
to use those copy and marketing skills to apply them to video.
Actually went out and bought me a couple books, Cashvertising and a couple others on storytelling, and one of them's how to write hypnotically, basically keep people on the page wanting to read more. I got a couple books, extra content for that.
Dope.
Bet you can apply that same exact thing to making videos.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing. Everything, it really boils down to a lot of, not even a lot, just kind of a small amount of basic principles. I mean, really at the base level, I mean, you have to catch someone's attention. You have to get the, the AIDA formula, right? We all learn that in school and shit, but it's really true. You have to get their attention. You have to make them interested. You have to make them want whatever it is that you're selling. And then you have to get them to take action. And at the base level, that's true regardless of whether it's your ad creative, your copy, your product page, the pictures, the video, everything. So I say that's really important. I think that's really solid to, and that's why I recommend, going really hard and reading books like the ones that you just ordered, because that's really at the base level, that's really what it's about. So I think that's solid.
Plus even the market research part of copy or coming up with angles, that's so critical for videos. What's your angle going to be? What's your first line? It doesn't matter whether it's your first line of written copy or your first line in a video ad. Same exact thing. It just needs to speak to your market's desires, fears, wants, whatever, and just be powerful and attention grabbing.
Awesome. Like I said, I don't have too many questions. It's actually my first video chat with you guys, I think, and just wanted to introduce myself. New kid around here. But,
yeah, man, absolutely. We appreciate it. Thomas, where do you go to school?
Cal State Long Beach.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it is.
What's the plan? You want to stay in school? You want to finish, or do you want to be a degenerate like me and drop out?
A little bit of both. Want to do this full time on the side, as I like to think about it.
I like it.
I like that.
And then also get that paper, get the degree. I have a little bit too much invested so far to just turn my back on that. But as soon as that's over, get as much experience as I can with internships and things like that. I actually just got out of a sales internship in downtown LA. Yeah, I learned a ton from that. That's where my profile pic's from. I'm no model or anything, just took that out the window of our office. But, and then photoshopped it. But yeah, I'm trying to go balls deep as I can right now. While I'm young, I feel like I have a little bit of a head start with time.
Oh, dude, 100%, man, 100%. I don't know, people get all, and obviously I dropped out of school, but when you're in school, you have so much free time. Even if you're taking hard classes and shit, you have so much free time. And obviously most people just fucking waste it, drinking and fucking smoking and sitting on the couch, whatever.
Not something that you would ever do.
Yeah, never. Not something I would ever do. But yeah, I mean, I live that life, and it's cool to see, someone your age, like, just like fucking get it. That's dope, man.
I do have a question. You were in a frat, right?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't like share it really.
Really?
If you did a lot of digging, you could probably find it. But
Yeah.
I don't know what the consequences of sharing that could be. So I don't really want to find out either.
Respect it. But yeah, I totally get a lot of the stuff that you like talk about, because I was very much the same way. This last semester was kind of a kick in the ass from one of my hard professors.
Really?
So, here I am.
Hell yeah, man. Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. I'll have more questions for you next week. To promise.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Dope. All right, let's go to, I forget, she told me last time, is it Maggie or Maggie?
It's Mickey.
Maggie.
I don't know the video.
Is there something weird with your mic setup? We're getting like a lot of echoing.
Really?
Do you have headphones you can put in or something?
Phones? Yeah.
Dope. Okay, let's
go to Andrew.
Let's go to Andrew in the meantime.
Circle back around.
Andrew doesn't look like he has a mic. That is a problem.
Guess Andrew needs headphones too.
Oh, is Maggie back?
Yeah.
All right. How's that now?
Yes. Good?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Okay, so sorry about that.
So what's going on?
Okay. Good. So I built my store. I struck in some coins and some product to import and provide the product description for. So I only imported one of it. So it was the special interest one. And then I started doing ads for the last 3 days, but I didn't get any purchase yet. I only got 2 add to carts. My CPMs are really expensive too. It's like,
Hey, you're cutting out a lot. I can't exactly make out what you're saying.
really?
Yeah, just like in and
Something
out.
with my microphones.
Is it? I wonder. Yeah, I think our internet's good. Can the rest of y'all hear us okay?
Yeah, you guys are good. Maggie, try this. Try holding the plug for the headphones tight into the plug. I think there's a loose connection.
Ah.
We got there's tech support.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my.
Okay, better. No?
I think so.
It seems to be, yeah.
Okay. All right, let me just continue.
Mm.
So I ran my store. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so I ran my. Okay, I still want to plug. So I ran ads in the last 3 days, and I have 5 interests and 5 ads, right? But I didn't get any purchase. I only have 2 add to carts.
Okay. What's the?
I'm not
You have
sure.
your ads dashboard up right now?
My ad sets? Yeah.
Yeah, the Facebook ads dashboard.
Yeah, I have it.
What is the unique click-through rate? Like over the last 3 days average?
%1.5%.
Say again?
1.5.
1.5?
What's the cost per click?
Cost per click is on average is $1.
It's
I got time. Huh.
That works.
Yeah, it can work. What's the CPM? Cost per impression?
CPM is really expensive. It's $21.
21?
21.
That's a little high, but that's not terrible. 2 epic cards. That sounds like a congruence problem to me. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I think that's like the most common problem, especially when you're first starting. If you're not making sales, it's if you have a product like that people want, which if you're advertising something that's in your boss build, then you should be good there. With stats like that, I would imagine that people see it and then they feel either misled or they see something that kind of turns them off on your website. So I think it's obviously it's hard to say specifically without actually looking at your ads in your store, but I would say that it's probably a congruence issue. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. What do you think?
I don't like reading into like 3 stats like that. I'd have to like look at what you're doing. Like what does your ad look like?
Yeah.
Is like what's your website set up like? What are your images like? I'd like to look at like everything. Can you like send that to us back later? Like just start a DM.
Yeah, I can do that.
And send us a picture of your ad copy, link to your product description, etc.
Yeah.
Maybe some details about what you've been trying, something like that. It's like with just 3 stats, like a couple stats like that, I wouldn't try to read too much into like what's not working, because probably like like everything's not working.
Yeah, there's probably more than one thing.
I know. Yeah, I'll do that later. But I have a few more questions.
Absolutely.
Because right, I'm not sure that when I launch an ad on Facebook, should I be doing a carousel or a single product?
Are you asking whether to do a single photo ad or a carousel ad?
Yeah.
I would say it depends on the product. If you have multiple solid pictures and it makes sense to do a carousel ad, then I would say go for it. If you only have like one really solid picture, then I would do a photo ad. I mean, for sake of simplicity, yeah, probably a single photo ad.
I like photo ads unless you have a specific reason to do something else. There's some products that make sense where showing multiple pictures of the same thing or of different variations like makes complete sense. Then I do a carousel ad. Otherwise, I do a photo ad.
Oh, okay, got it. And one more question. If I do a carousel, right, on the ad, if you click shop now, it goes to like, the collection that I want to go to. And when I click on the product image, do I send them to the collection page or do I send to the individual product page?
Are you advertising multiple different products in the same carousel?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be just doing one unless, I mean, there might be specific situations where that would make sense if there were like different variants of the same product. Like if it was a necklace that had different like designs or something, or like something where they were similar enough for them to make sense together, but different enough that, there would be different types of people that would buy them. So you'd want different product pages, if that makes sense. But for the most part, you just want to, it's kind of like the rule of, you give people too many choices and then they do nothing. So you want to advertise one product, and generally you just want to advertise one product and then send put the link right to the product page. And then, like we're saying, if it makes sense to do a carousel, if you have, pictures and there's a solid reason to, then you can do that. But other than that, I would probably just do a single photo ad advertising one product, with one link to the product page.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And also other questions, because we have so many different angles, right? Should I be testing one angle at a time, or can I test multiple angles across different campaigns?
Say that last part again.
Should I be testing different angles, like two or three angles at the same time across different campaigns, one campaign for each angle? Or do you have to wait every 3 years I only has one angle?
I think she's trying to ask whether she
You know
can
what I mean?
multiple angles at the same time across different ad sets. Is that right? Yeah. So I think if you've got nothing that's working right now, then you should absolutely be doing that. Like, it depends how different the angles are.
Yeah, it depends on how different the angles are, because whatever angles you're testing have to be congruent with the angle that's on your product page. So if there were different angles that could be congruent with, you know, the same like overarching angle that's on your product page, then you could do that. But I would say, I mean, the route that I like to take is more so just one big angle at a time. That's the route that I like to do, because then it takes a little longer to test. But then I think you get better data, because then you know, like for example, if you were testing 2 different angles across 5 ad sets, then one ad set starts working, you don't know whether it was the angle or whether it was the targeting, like the interest. So I definitely prefer to do one angle at a time and make it like a really, like I don't like testing like angles that are slightly different. Like if I'm going to be testing different angles, I like to be testing angles that are like dramatically different.
Okay. Got it.
Like if you've got like one angle as like the gift angle, then you could test that, because it doesn't need to change the product page. Like you could test the gift angle in an ad and have the product page be the same as whatever your other angle is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. I get now. Okay, thank you. Let me see if I have any questions.
Like here's an example for what you wouldn't want to do. If you had a product that was like for pain relief, like for back pain relief and for stress relief, then and you're gonna have to pick one of those, because if the product page is for back pain relief, then you don't want to make an ad for stress relief, because the ad and the product page need to work together there. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Kind of.
So I cannot.
If somebody
can't
clicks,
combine them.
I didn't catch that.
Can we combine them, like the 2 different angles, back pain and stress relief?
Yeah.
Relieving pain, relieving stress. Can we combine them?
No, you wouldn't want to, at least not getting started.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. But that gets a little murky. And I think that's like that's honestly like a really tough skill, I would say, to be able to like combine angles like that and have it actually make sense, be congruent, and still be compelling. So I would really just focus on you know, one at a time, unless it's something like Scotty was saying, where it's like the gift angle. You could test an ad that's like, this is a great gift, but then you have like a different overarching angle, you know, on the product page, which, you know, that would be fine.
The reason you don't want to mix stuff together is because if a product has multiple benefits, you don't want to present it as the solution for this, and this. You want to be very specific, so that if somebody sees your ad and they have back pain, they see your ad, oh, this solves back pain. They go to the product page, this is good for back pain. If you start listing like the 8 different things that the product helps with, then it's just too general. The person no longer feels like, oh, this is exactly what I need. That's kind of what you want the person to like think when they see your ads, like, oh shit, this is exactly what I need. You want to be like laser focused in on something. So when you start to like mix big angles like that, you kind of lose that really sort of laser focus. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, I'll try that out. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's move to Brent.
Are we skipping Thomas? What happened?
I think Thomas, we already got Thomas,
yeah.
right? He just turned his camera off, yeah. And then Andrew, we're still waiting to see if he is able to get access to a microphone.
Hello, I am now unmuted.
What's up, Brett?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well,
Yes.
doing well.
Good. So I have not done too much with the course since I got to the since I got my build, but I have been working on securing my brand. So I have, let's see, I have a bunch of domain names that I've secured and that secure the brand. And I also have a Facebook page and Instagram page and a Twitter account and a Pinterest account. And I was trying to set up a YouTube account to actually get the dedicated name that I want. I'll have to have 30 days and 100 subscribers on YouTube. But I also am going to be filing, I already have a company, so I'm going to be filing a DBA for that brand and also a trademark application on the brand. Just, I want to lock it up because I'm afraid once I start using it, someone else is going to try to copy it and then I'll have a fight. Easier if I have the brand locked up first. So that's where, plus I've just been busy with my work in this month. But
yeah.
Take it away.
What are you slapping me for?
Oh, that was the signal. Take it away.
Can I stop you there?
Real quick.
I would
Sure.
suggest you focus on sales and marketing rather than like a bunch of legal stuff and locking up stuff and getting this set up and that set up. Like you've got no idea whether this is going to work, how it's going to work. Start making sales because nobody's going to copy you if you're not making sales. Like priority number one has to be making sales, then getting sales profitably, and then scaling that. Once you start to scale, by all means, get your brand name, get your trademark, get all that stuff, but don't do that before you have any idea if it's going to work or not, and how it's going to work. Because you may change the name, you may change everything. Like at the moment, you know nothing. Like you don't know if any part of your business is going to work. So you just need to start testing stuff. And then once you have that, once you have like proof of concept, then by all means go and do that stuff. But for now, it's just not a priority. You're sort of wasting time and perhaps overthinking about going into a bunch of different, like locking up all those names. Like I don't think I've ever made a Pinterest account. I had a YouTube account for one store once, never used it. Twitter, I've got one Twitter account for one store, never used it. It's not important at this point.
Okay. And like that's like Brent, that's something that we, like me and Scotty, have had to focus on after getting something working with drop shipping and then like turning it into a real e-commerce brand where we actually purchase inventory up front and, you know, have like a fulfillment center and a warehouse and everything like that. Like that's kind of the stage where you focus on that because at this point, like anyone can copy you. You're drop shipping, you're not doing anything like special. You know, at the end of the day, the products that you're selling are available for anyone else to go and sell, and there's nothing you can really do about that. Even you get a trademark, you know, you can do whatever. That you know, you can trademark the name, I guess, but ultimately, like, there's no real way to prevent yourself from being copied aside from being so unique and so good at marketing that no one's just skilled enough to do it. Like that's really the only way to do that with dropshipping. With an e-com brand, it's a little different because you can actually create your own products and have, you know, your own inventory and do things a little differently. But at this point, you know, it's just kind of like solving problems that you don't have yet.
Right. Okay.
Do you come from like a corporate background or like, are you a lawyer or?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. and in fact, an intellectual property lawyer. So yeah, that's kind of why.
At least it probably didn't take you too long to get that trademark filed.
Well, I haven't filed it yet. The thing is, I don't want to have my name on it on the trademark application. So I was gonna, just a variety of reasons why. So I was going to try to find someone else to do it for me, but I just haven't.
That's risky too. If it fucking takes off.
Well, I mean,
better be your mom or somebody.
No, I would have another lawyer.
Are you going to tell the lawyer
that I know
how to do lawyership?
another lawyer that I know to do it. So yeah, but so
I like the tenacity. I like that, like, because that's something that most people never think about. And I mean, kind of for good reason, because, you know, you don't really need to think about it until you're at the point where it makes sense. But it's definitely really good to be aware of that stuff because, I mean, yeah, there's definitely can be some negatives to kind of ignoring that side of things. But until you're making sales consistently and profitably, and like you're like, you know, you have an actual real source of income from this, it's just
Right.
kind of just like pointless.
Right. I also was learning. I did some things with Photoshop. So I got the Creative Suite, Adobe Creative Suite, and I started doing some things with that, and I doing some things with Photoshop and with After Effects. After Effects.
Do you know how to use those programs?
I know how to use Photoshop to some degree, and Illustrator I also used to some degree. So I was doing some things with the Illustrator. There's a really cool thing out now which wasn't available when I used Photoshop before, which is it's like mock-ups in Photoshop. And so if you're working with, you know, if you're putting your own custom images on things, then it's possible to have a mock-up created so you can just drop your image onto it and it looks, you know, just pops right onto the image of the product. So I mean, so that's just something I was actually playing with, you know, regarding another idea that I had. But you know, I have some ideas for the After Effects in terms of making an ad, kind of a video ad, and so I was thinking about how I might do that. At this point, since I don't know, I haven't really looked into what all already exists from a product in terms of images. I might, you know, order that product and then maybe do some video of it that I have in mind, and then put that into a video editor or After Effects or something like that, and do some work with it and make it into something kind of cool.
That's probably a good move.
I would say if you like know the basics of how to use After Effects, like yeah. But if you have to learn it from scratch, I would say you're probably better off just paying a video editor, like get the content yourself and then pay a video editor to do it. Because from my understanding, After Effects is not an easy program to learn. And that's just, you know, it's like kind of like, you know, you could take the time to do that and really like do things, I guess, you know, the right way, in the sense that you're really going out of your way to go above and beyond in all these different aspects. But ultimately, like, none of that stuff is going to matter until you get ads up and you test and see what works and what doesn't. You know, because ultimately, I mean, you know, there's kind of, I guess, two ways to do that. It's kind of, you know, the long way and then the short way. And ultimately, you'll never really, if you go the long way, you'll never get the thing that you need the most, which is data, which gives you, you know, experience and insight into what works and what doesn't, because that's really where you learn. You know, the program, I think, is pretty freaking good. I think me and Scotty did a pretty good job with it. And I think it teaches, you know, just about everything you need to know to get started with this stuff. But ultimately, the real knowledge is from throwing ads up, seeing what works and what doesn't, and actually getting feedback from your market. Because without that, you know, that's like the, you know, there's learning and then there's doing. And then, you know, doing, that's really where, you know, you're going to see progress. And ultimately, you know, you're ideally getting paid to learn. So,
Right. Okay.
You got any other questions, Brent?
Not too much. Actually, one thing I was thinking about relating to this was I was also researching this, which was looking at apps in particular. You know, there's apps for doing like AR, augmented reality, where you put your product basically into the room that you're in. And so my thinking, I was looking at some apps that you could actually put products into. So the idea is that with one of these augmented reality apps, drop in, you know, a picture of my product, and then you know, the customer could have the app on their phone because they could download it, and then put their product into it, or your product would already be in it because it would, if they download it from your site, and then they could look at how that product would look in their actual room.
Right.
So I mean, this is kind of like beyond like in first steps, but like you're saying, but it was something that
You're cutting out now.
Brian, you there? Hello, hello.
Yo, I was thinking that's some like kind of next level shit. Couldn't you just go with like InShot or some sort of free app like
There we go.
that?
So, yeah, I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah, what Andy's saying is true. Like, that's a really cool idea, but if that, like, let's think this through. If you test that and it doesn't work, what's your next move? You're gonna have to go test like the normal product picture because you've got no idea whether did the product not work or did your like unique creative idea not work.
Did they just not want to download the app?
Yeah.
Do they not have it?
There's like too many.
Yeah.
Like, dude, absolutely try that once you have an offer, a product, images, creatives, and all that going that work, that people want. Then try that, because that could be killer, but it could also fail. Most likely will fail.
Yeah.
And if it fails, you then have no idea that it failed because of product, offer, messaging, creative, or did it fail because your unique idea just doesn't work.
Brent, have you looked at any of your competitors and done like competitor research?
Not at this point. So that's So there's a lot of things I haven't done yet. You know,
No, I love the ideas that you're bringing. But like the point I was getting to there is like if you go and you do your competitor research and see what stores in your niche that are working, you know, it's not 100% foolproof, but a decent way to tell is if you put their website into SimilarWeb. I have the Chrome extension. I'd probably download that and get that in Chrome. It's not 100% accurate, but if you see a website that's like a competitor of yours that is getting 50 to 100,000 or more visits per month, that store is making, it's pretty much guaranteed it's making at least, tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Okay.
So if you go and look at your competitors, you're going to be amazed, I think, at just how simple and how like uninspiring, like not unique, like just super basic these stores are that are making a lot of money. Because ultimately, like there's a lot of moving parts to this, and the more moving parts that you add to it, the harder it gets. Ultimately, like the fastest track is going to be to make it as easy as possible on yourself, which is just going to be to do the simplest shit possible, get ads up, and really go heavy on like learning the principles of direct response marketing, so that you're able to create really good ads, compelling angles, write good copy, etc. It really doesn't take anything special, man. So I would say like I like the way that you're talking right now kind of reminds me of the way that I thought, I guess, before I'd really like gotten really into this stuff. And it was just a huge mindset shift for me to realize that I don't have to do anything special or out of this world or crazy. It really is just about being decent at marketing and putting the right product in front of the right person and marketing it in the right way. That's really all it takes.
Okay.
Cool. Brian, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, so I'm really excited to find out what is this announcement tomorrow morning. I'm not sure if you can give us a preview this evening or not.
Oh, I put it in there earlier today, actually.
Did you?
Are you in the Slack chat?
Oh yeah, Brian, are you?
I saw. Yeah, I'm on Slack. I didn't have a chance to read what was on Slack today. I thought it was an email that I saw announcing.
Yeah. So it's officially launching tomorrow, but we put it in the Slack early tonight because we have like a special offer for you guys.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so if you look in the Slack, you'll see that all there. And
okay.
If you have questions about that, we can answer questions about that too. At your stage, Brent, I probably wouldn't worry about that right now. It's probably not the best thing for me to be saying for my own wallet, telling you not to buy from me. But I don't think that it's about Facebook ads. And it's kind of behind the scenes like Facebook ad stuff. And ultimately, like I think your biggest thing right now is just really going tunnel vision on the stuff that matters. I think down the line that's definitely going to be something that will interest you, and I think that you'd benefit from immensely. But right now, I probably wouldn't worry too much about it.
Okay, very good.
Oh man, well, it's good talking. And I guess we got one more here. Glenn Gratz. That's a nice name. I like that.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm a 40-year-old just moved to Texas for the recent job at the U.S. Attorney's Office. So I work with FBI and other law enforcement, e-discovery and that. And I thought I'd try this out as a side hustle.
Connections at the FBI. It's always.
I like it.
Yeah, and my wife here, Jingle, she actually works for several people. She's from the Philippines, and she helps people sell e-courses and e-books and that, and she knows website design and how to do funnels and that. So I think I got
an asset right there.
Yeah, I got a good asset here, right, babe? Yeah, she's giving me a thumb up.
Love it.
But yeah, we just got the B.O.S.S build there, and I picked the booty workout one.
Oh,
So,
dude, that hands down one of my favorite ones so far. That has so much potential. There's so many just killer angles, and like, oh god, dude, the insecurities with that, like, you can hit those so hard that I think that's gonna kill.
Yeah, I have a few ideas, but you know, right now I just got it, so I'm still going through semester 2. That just started too, you know. So I don't quite have questions yet, other than like I guess I got to pick the Shopify store on my own and the domain.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so then we'll go and do that. I like the one that you guys suggested in the B.O.S.S build. Kind of reminded me of the movie of Boogie Nights.
I'm trying to remember what the ones in that one were. I don't remember.
Booty Days.
Booty Days, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I just gotta work at it right now. Try and figure out what I'll probably ask some questions in Slack.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man, absolutely. You utilize these resources like as much as you possibly can. You know, we have them here for a reason. I would say the majority of people don't really take advantage of them to the full extent that they could, which on one hand, I'm like, all right, cool, I have less work to do. On the other hand, I'm like, well, you know, less students I think are getting results because of it. Ultimately, we're here for you guys to help you guys with literally any problem that you come across, like ever. So never be afraid to reach out in the Slack chat. If you don't want it to share with, you know, everyone in the program, feel free to DM me or Scotty directly. You know, we're here to help, and ultimately, like so far, the people who have utilized these resources the most, you know, been on the live calls, asked questions, you know, been active on Slack. Those people have been the people who have gotten the best results. And I think that, you know, some people are just kind of hesitant because, you know, for one reason or the other, whatever. But, you know, we just want to make it really clear, like, don't ever be hesitant to message us or anything. We're here for you.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to get my wife to help participate as well, maybe at some point. She, if anyone needs web design help, she can do that too.
Interesting. Does she have experience with Shopify?
You got experience with Shopify, don't you, babe? Not really?
Yeah.
No, just ClickFunnels
Yeah.
and Equid and WordPress.
Yeah, but it's the fun.
Okay.
You can do all those. Shopify's not going to be tough.
I think Shopify's different though because it's in JSON or something, right?
Yeah, for custom thing, but
yeah. Well, that's
like,
what. All right,
web design isn't really custom coding.
But isn't it with Shopify? Because it's like you're basically have to custom code anything that you want to do, like web design wise.
No, you can just make it look like nice.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Make sure the colors fit.
Anyway, that sounds cool, Glenn. So I guess you're kind of getting things off the ground right now. I'm guessing probably over the next week or so, be building your store, getting some ads.
I'll probably ask you guys or maybe somebody here in Slack as well. Patrick seems to know his stuff so far.
Dude, I'm not making money yet, so don't look to me for too many answers, but I can certainly help you with the technical stuff.
Yeah, I might. Anything that Jingle doesn't know, we might, message you.
Hey, as long as you're not targeting men for this booty workout, we might be in a similar niche.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we got through everyone with questions. Does anyone have questions that were raised, like, you know, inspired by other questions or anything after the fact? Let's do like a little freestyle.
Hey, well, I guess, you know, I'm gonna be trying to target like some older women, and you know, most of the beauty products have content with you know, younger hot women. So how would you suggest going about this?
That's a good question. I mean, for one, I would say, like, is it that big of a deal? Like, probably not, because I think, you know, one of the main things, from what it sounds like with your build, is helping older women look younger, which is something that they would probably, you know, obviously
envision themselves as the woman in the picture.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say
I would aim to get content made, because you want good-looking people who are a little younger than your target market.
Okay.
So if your target market is like 45 to 65, you're probably going to want to have like 35 to 45-year-old, something like that.
Okay.
It's like, if you've got a 65-year-old, they're not really going to want to look like the 20-year-old. Like, well, they would, but like, that's not who you would use to advertise it. It has to be like, oh, this person's just like me, except like really gorgeous and looks really young.
Okay.
Like, you have that, this is just like me, except with this product is better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I can't fucking talk today. Yeah, so you're probably going to want to get custom content made for that as soon as you can. But especially with like older women trying to get that content made, I'm telling you, like, that could be kind of tough. So do it as best you can with like photoshopping, making creatives. And then once you have a product that's actually working and your angle's working, your copy's working, all that, then go ahead and do that.
I was just thinking, an idea I just had you could probably do is just like post an ad on fucking Craigslist or something. Need hot 35 to 45-year-old woman. Apply with pictures.
Yeah, I've seen those posts on Craigslist, and I was wondering what the hell was going on. Like, it had to be some front for prostitutes, but I guess you never know.
Probably.
I'm a multitasker, though, so.
Casting couch.
That's
all I got.
I love it. All right. Anyone got anything else?
I didn't have any extra questions. I just wanted to mention, actually, Maggie, I'm really glad that you had the problem that you had, because that whole idea of focusing your angle like on one specific area and not trying different angles, that actually tells me why one of my interests didn't work. Is exactly that problem. And actually that
wasn't congruent?
Yeah, because it wasn't congruent with the interest, the sales page. So that's actually really cool, and that gives me some other ideas of things that I can do. So that's actually really helpful. So I just wanted to call out that. It's like, it wasn't an extra question, but that's something else that I learned from the questions that Maggie was asking.
Yeah, man. I think that's a really solid insight. It's just something that, like, you wouldn't really know unless like someone like told you, I guess, because it just doesn't seem like, it's not like something intuitive that you would just like understand. If like, because you're thinking like, okay, you're just thinking about like so many different like aspects of it, like so many different of the moving parts, and then you kind of like, I think, tend to forget what the actual customer sees, and like being able to put yourself in your customer's mind and act like in their shoes, and being able to understand and see things exactly as they do, from the first time they see your first ad to them going to your product page, to add to cart, to checkout and everything. Like if you can really put yourself in their shoes and see and think like they think, and that's why research is so important, then you're gonna realize like, oh, this part isn't congruent. I'm advertising, to this audience. They're interested in this. Oh, this thing, I was advertising this audience originally. I didn't change that, et cetera, et cetera. And that's like, again, kind of like I was saying earlier when Maggie was talking about her metrics and stuff, and like my initial impression of that, like the overwhelming majority of the time that I've seen with when you're first starting, generally the problem isn't really anything else other than congruency and just like maybe some other little things. But that's like by far the biggest thing because it's all subconscious. You turn people away and they don't even realize why. They just click off because something just ticked in their head and they're like, oh, this isn't for me, or, whatever it may be. So I think that's really important. Again, research, and Patrick, I know you get that. That's why it's so important.
It's also a case of marketing like a direct response company and not like a big brand. It's like a big brand might like present their product as like the 8-in-1 solution to solve like everything from back pain to getting bigger muscles to this and that. Like, you as a direct response marketer, you want to pick the most compelling one and like build your entire funnel, like your ads, your product page, like the entire thing, build it around like one big idea. You don't want to start mixing and matching. You don't want to have like a product that does everything, because you want to be one thing. You want to solve one really specific problem for one specific type of person. You don't want to be like the solution to everything for everyone. It's like, how are you going to grab somebody's attention if you're the solution to everything for anyone?
Yeah, and I really appreciate that insight, because that helps a lot, and it's something I'm thinking about going forward.
Sweet.
Dope.
Yeah, I also want to mention one thing. When I was doing my market research, one of the things I have the biggest difficulty was in writing up descriptions, and I realized that because I had a tough time understanding the language of my target market. Does that make sense?
You're cutting out a lot. It was hard to I heard that you're having a tough time understanding the language of your market.
Yeah, the language that my market is using. I guess men. Yeah, so that's like really tough for me. It's true when I'm writing copies for a good 2 weeks just to reach I kept refining my copy over and over and over and over again. And I think I finally got it, but still that took me a long time to understand it, especially with the words and the language that they like to use.
I would say Urban Dictionary is probably your friend. if like there's like, especially if there's slang.
Dictionary?
Yeah, Urban Dictionary. Like, I guess it depends on like how old your market is. If it's like a really old guys, then it probably won't help all that much. But if like there's like a lot of words that you just like don't know what they mean, and specifically if it's slang, then Urban Dictionary could probably help. Obviously, be careful because there's some nasty shit on Urban Dictionary. But I mean, yeah, I would say if there's stuff that you don't understand, just like look it up, like Google it, like see what you can find. And that's really like what this game is all about. It's just like figuring shit out when you don't know what's going on. And that's like the toughest part. And that's what, if you just have the mindset that you're going to figure this out, the answer is like 99% of the time, the answer's out there somewhere, and you just have to do a lot of digging to find it. So if you're willing to put in that work and do all the digging, then you'll probably end up pretty well. If you're kind of just like, screw this is too tough, or you don't feel like it, whatever, then you probably won't get that great results.
Got it. I'll do more digging.
Is there anything in specific, Miggy, that like maybe if it's men, maybe we can help?
I won't be able to help.
I know. I guess you can answer me. If you were a man that wore cufflinks, why would you wear it?
Say it again?
I guess if you can answer me, if you are a man that wore cufflinks, why do you wear it?
Cufflinks.
All right, I can answer this one. Yeah, so I only own like one pair of cufflinks, and I hardly ever wear them. But the reason, because they really step up the appearance in terms of making you look like I'm not sure what the slang word for it is, but making you look more fancy, more dressed up than normally.
Yeah.
So I personally like cufflinks that that coordinate with my jewelry. So if I'm wearing, yellow gold jewelry, then I want a yellow gold silver colored jewelry. I'd want a silver cufflink, and I think it should just kind of coordinate with the whole outfit and just really pop. It's like the jewelry you wear. Men don't wear very much jewelry. Men wear a few rings, cufflinks, a watch. I think that's about it. Most men, at least businessmen.
Okay, so do you think only businessmen wear cufflinks?
It's definitely like a higher class thing because people, you're not going to wear cufflinks unless you're wearing a suit, right? Or a tux or something. So yeah, I would probably say I'm hesitant to give my opinion because I don't think I'm your target market.
Why? Because you never wear a suit.
Cause I wear a suit like maybe once every 6 months, maybe. But just off like intuition, I guess it's definitely like an appearance thing. And I say it's like, it's something that kind of like helps you make an impression and feel more confident. It's just like an accessory, like something that makes you feel better, look better. And I would say probably, I think you're probably onto something with businessmen or something. I'm trying to think of what else people dress up for.
I think if you go to Amazon and look up similar products to what you're selling and read through the reviews, both positive and negative, that's going to tell you so much about your target customer. Because they're going to tell you exactly why they like it, why they dislike it, and they're probably going to include what they use it for. Like a typical review might be, I love these cufflinks. They made me feel great at my fucking prom, or they went really well without being like too attention grabbing for work. So you might learn something like that. I think Amazon's the place that you need to head right away.
I think that's really solid.
Well, and I posted that SpyFu link in the chat, and you find one competitor and you just type them in, it's free and it'll keep returning more, and then you search those same ones, and once you keep looking at different sites with all those reviews, it basically writes shit for you,
Yeah. I'm gonna look at that. I don't think I looked at that when you first posted that.
Yeah. I looked at it.
They only let you do 2 sites before you register, but it's not a big deal. It's free, and I don't know what the paid side of it offers. I'm too dumb for all the SEO and all that shit, so maybe you guys will find more use out of it, but
Thank you. I looked at it. Thank you guys for your input and advice. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying thank you, and also for attending. We appreciate you guys who come and take the time.
Thank you for having us.
So I have one more question that kind of ties in with something that was discussed before. So that's if you wanted to test multiple angles and you wanted to essentially do it simultaneously. Could you have a different product page on Shopify for each of the angles that each of your ads will point to? Or would that just be confusing in case they go back to the upper level and see you have all these copies of the same product but focusing on different angles?
That's a good question.
You can do it. It's a massive pain in the ass, and don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I've tried that. It becomes too much. At that stage, really just do one thing at a time, but do it really well. Yeah. It's if you half-ass 5 things, then 5 things aren't going to work. If you do one thing really well, it's either going to work or it's not going to work. If it doesn't work, you did this really well, and this idea doesn't resonate with your market, so I'm going to try a different idea. If you half-ass 5 things and none of them work, you don't know if it's because you half-assed them or because the idea doesn't work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you may say oh, but I'm not going to half-ass it. But if you do 5 things, your energy, your focus is going to be mixed. It's going to be spread out across more different things, and it's not going to be as good as it could be.
Yeah.
That's just always the way it ends up. And
I would say for specifically with the angles and stuff, I would say Scotty, I want to know what you think about this too. With the angles, you can get a lot more specific in your ads and then be a little bit less specific on your product pages.
Yeah.
Because ultimately the angle is going to be more impactful in your ads than on your product pages, because the ad is the first step. That's where, you know, if you think of like a funnel, like, you know, you have 100 people here. If it's really good, then maybe 80 people get to the next step. If the angle's not very compelling, maybe only 50 people get to the next step. So like the impact of your angles, it's higher in your ads than it is on your product pages. So like I'd say generally, like I would test multiple different ad angles before I would really go in and test a really dramatically different product page angle, if that makes sense.
The ad angle is going to be more specific. Think of it like, I guess like the easiest way to explain it might be to use like Ads Eldorado, like our new newsletter as an example. The sales page for it, that would be like your product page. That has like everything you need to know. It has like multiple benefits, multiple features, a bit of a story, etc., etc., etc. Now, every email that Nate or I write just focuses on like one aspect of that.
Right.
Whereas the sales page might have like different aspects. An email, or in the case of e-com, it's just going to have like one aspect. You can have one aspect that leads into the overarching theme of the product page. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What was that the original question, or did you go off into a different topic?
I think I went off into a different topic.
What was the original question, Brent?
Yeah. Oh, well, the original question was whether I should, if I wanted to test different angles, whether I should have a different product page for each of the angles. Yeah, so I saw one person for, you know, a different e-commerce kind of thing say that there was a site that had the same product, but many different pages of the product, and each of the page had a different copy and different keywords, and so it would be SEO differently, and there, you know, it would basically, each product would be targeting a different demographic that might be searching differently on Google or whatever.
Don't worry about SEO at all right now.
Or ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like even at this point, neither me or Scotty have put any sort of effort or thought into SEO.
Okay. I roll my eyes every time somebody tells me about SEO for e-com.
And that makes me feel good, because you actually know shit about SEO. I don't know anything about SEO. Yeah. Scotty actually knows.
I think I've rolled my eyes at you and said, "Oh, I think we should be doing some
SEO." Yeah, I said that too. I was like, I think I'm gonna, you know, try to do some SEO stuff. And Scotty was like, "Don't fucking do that." I was like, all right.
Well, I think what happens is when we start getting sales, you're gonna see that you get sales from Google. You think, "Oh shit, I'm getting sales from Google. These are free sales. I need to put more focus into this." No, the sales you're getting from Google are because people look up your name or your brand name, your product name,
because they saw your Facebook ads.
After seeing a Facebook ad. Your Google sales at that stage are Facebook sales, and just not worry about SEO at all.
Yeah.
I
know that actually doing a legit SEO is a major undertaking, and so if you wanted SEO, you should actually hire an SEO expert to do it for you. But you know, what I was talking about was just basically just having keywords and stuff that would get ranked, I guess, in the Google AdWords because of them being focused on a narrow subject area.
Yeah, but again, then that causes the problem of your product store. If somebody goes to it, you've got a bunch of different products that are all the same with different keywords in it.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It's kind of a fringe benefit for, I think that would probably be like a net loss doing that.
Like a what?
A net loss. Like, you might rank for some different keywords, but you're also going to lose some people, because why does this store have 12 different products that are all the same?
Right. Okay.
You'd have to do that really, really well too. So this is an area I have a lot of expertise in. If you're not careful, Google will see all of those pages as the same page, and then they will hit you for cloaking, and they'll actually ban your domain from the search results.
Oh, wow.
So if you've seen sites that do that, pay very careful attention. They probably change just enough content that they actually look like different pages to Google. But that's very hard to get right. It's not for the faint of heart. And if you're not careful, your domain will be banned completely from the search results. So I strongly recommend not even trying something like that unless you hire an expert to do it. And even then, like Scotty said, it's a lot of extra effort to set up all the extra pages for not a lot of extra gain. So yeah, it's not something that I could recommend just from a technical point of view.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for that.
Sweet. Anyone else got some extra points you want to bring up? Something's come to mind?
All good, man. Thank you guys so much for the time tonight. I really appreciate it.
Dude, appreciate you coming on here and sharing your wisdom.
Yeah, it's fun. This stuff is so much fun to me. It's like a party. I haven't had this much fun doing something in a long time. So really, I'd say thanks.
Awesome, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you guys too. You know, I hope to meet up with you all again on this or wherever.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you for the advice or the input or your opinion on lineman recovering. I'm gonna put up my store on the Slack channel, and you guys feel free to give me your comment or opinions on them.
Make sure you include your ads too.
Yeah.
Like show your ads.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah. Yes, I will do that.
Awesome. Are we all good?
I think so.
Did I miss anything?
Unless somebody's going to jump in.
Cool.
You guys, peace out.
Thank you.
Your penthouse, have a party or something.
I'm going to fucking sleep.
Have fun, you guys.
Cool.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace out.
All right, see ya. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.